So here it is, the Meizu Pro 7 Plus. So this unit right in front of me is the 64GB version with 6GB of RAM. It comes with a 5.7-inch Super AMOLED screen with 2K resolution and the Mediatek Helio X30 processor, which is the currently most powerful Mediatek processor available, and let me tell you that right away, it is a great processor. It also packs a 3500 mAh battery, and kind of the main feature of all the Pro 7/Pro 7 Plus devices is the rear display, which, to be honest with you, looks more beautiful in real life than it did on the renders and press images, which is kind of funny. Initially I didn't like this design too much, but it definitely doesn't look as bad when you have the device right in front of you. So the phone boasts a unibody metal design and it looks pretty neat, kind of a simple design but a very nice one. The antenna lines are almost invisible, and this time Meizu went for some logo, for some vertical logo in the lower right corner, which is kind of unusual for them but looks pretty nice. It's a glossy silver logo. And the phone is really slim, as you can see, and it really feels nice in the hands. So let's have a look around the phone. On the lower frame we find a 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB Type-C port, the voice microphone, as well as the mono media speaker. And this one actually sounds surprisingly good. This is one of the best mono speakers I've ever heard on a phone. And it's still kind of sad they didn't go for a stereo setup, but still it sounds great, has a lot of bass to it, so nothing to really complain about. On the left side of the phone we find the SIM tray, which takes 2 nano SIM cards. And on the upper side we only find the noise cancelling microphone. It's a bit sad they didn't implement some IR blaster like Xiaomi does on their devices. The right side houses the phone's hardware buttons, which are a volume rocker as well as the power switch. And on the front we find the typical Meizu M-Touch home button, which has an embedded fingerprint scanner, is both touch sensitive and pressure sensitive. So by pressing it you can go home, by touching it you go back, and to actually open the app switcher you swipe from the chin area onto the screen. The upper side houses a white status LED, the phone receiver, which has the sensors embedded, and also the 16 megapixel front camera. The main camera is on the rear, right above the rear display. It's a dual camera consisting of two 12 megapixel Sony IMX386 sensors, and the display below it is a 2-inch AMOLED screen, and it displays some useful information. When you double tap it, it turns on, and it can also turn on when you flip the phone. The start page of it displays the date and time as well as the temperature. Then you can display the steps you have taken today, and there is a dedicated weather widget. If there are some notifications, it will display it here too. but you won't see the content of the notifications. You will just see a message. When you want to take selfies with the main camera, you can do so by swiping upwards or downwards very fast on the screen, like that. Then it enables the camera, and if you want to take a picture, you can choose between 3 modes: blur mode, which is a bokeh effect, beauty mode, and also original, which is kind of the default camera mode. So if you want to take a picture, you simply tap the screen, then a countdown will appear and the picture will be taken. What's kind of strange is that when you turn the phone around, the rear display doesn't disable itself when the camera is active, which is an issue because when you touch it, then you take another picture. So before you turn the phone around after taking a picture, you need to close the camera by swiping downwards. And now the display will turn off. So the 5.7-inch 2K AMOLED screen is a great one. When they used full HD panels, you always have been able to see single pixels on those AMOLED screens when coming closer. This is not the case here. You can come very close and you won't see any pixels at all. And also the quality of the panel is just great. It looks extremely natural, yet colors do still look vivid, but this typical AMOLED look is just gone. It could as well be an LCD panel, but you definitely notice that it's an AMOLED panel when you show content with lots of contrast or lots of black inside. You will have really deep blacks because, well, those areas aren't lit up on AMOLED screens. So it's just a great display, a pleasure to look at. Reaction time is great, touchscreen works very well, viewing angles are stable, and yes, it also is bright, which was an issue on previous Meizu flagship phones where the AMOLED screens just weren't bright enough for outdoor use. This really is not a problem here. Even with bright sunlight, you still will be able to see everything perfectly well. Performance-wise, the Meizu Pro 7 Plus really is a big step forward. When comparing it to previous Mediatek powered phones, especially talking about the Helio X20, X25, X27, just look at this Antutu score. 143,000 points is quite a lot. Yes, it doesn't reach, for example, a Snapdragon 835, but still, performance isn't noticeably behind a Snapdragon 835. In fact, the phone feels just like a Snapdragon 835 phone. I did compare to the OnePlus 5 or the Xiaomi Mi 6, and they both perform very similar. Maybe the 3D performance is a bit weaker, but really not much. You won't notice this with today's games. There really is no game out there which would max out the GPU right now. Also in Geekbench we get really high scores, especially in multi-core. If you want to install Google Play on this phone, which you need to do because there only is a Chinese firmware available which comes without Google Play, you need to download the GMS installer from the Meizu App Store, which you find by typing Google into the App Store, and then you will find this application with this icon. Install it, and this is the Google installer. Open it up and then it will install the Google Play Store for you. But please remember that it doesn't have multi-language, so only Chinese and English are supported on the Meizu Pro 7 Plus at this time. Camera wise, this phone does a great job in normal camera mode. You get really nice looking pictures with intense but realistic colors, an awesome amount of detail and sharpness. Pictures just look gorgeous. But what you do notice is that Meizu is definitely new to the dual camera department, because bokeh mode doesn't work too well compared to other phones. So look at this. It definitely has some issues with the edge detection of more complicated objects. I mean, most of today's dual camera phones manage to shoot flowers without any blurriness on the flower leaves, but here you do notice a blurriness, and this is the case for a lot of pictures taken in the dual camera mode. It really loves to screw up such pictures. Just look at this here again. We have some blurriness on an area where it isn't supposed to be blurred. So yeah, the dual camera / bokeh mode doesn't work too well right now. What's an issue too is that the camera application still is really buggy. It often happens that you can't focus anymore when you had the app running in the background and then open it again, and then you just can't set the focus anymore. This happens very frequently and is extremely annoying. What's also happening sometimes is that the LED flash doesn't work correctly. Sometimes it doesn't light up in dark situations, or the camera takes the picture too late when the flash is already turned off, which is kind of a shame for such a flagship phone in this price range. Remember that this phone is currently priced at around 437 euros slash 480 bucks or even 500 bucks. And yeah, they really should fix those bugs as soon as possible. What's also not working correctly is the manual mode. Yesterday at night I tried to take some long exposure shots, but no matter which exposure time I set here, it just didn't have any, just didn't make any changes to the pictures. I mean, I have been able to set the picture to half a second or 1 second or even 20 seconds, and it just didn't change anything in the picture. So that's one more really annoying bug they hopefully will fix soon. What's kind of strange is that no other review does mention those stability issues or bugs with the camera app. So this might be due to some recent update. So let's see if they will fix this. No big changes have been made in the battery department. The 3500 mAh battery still is charged from 20 to 100% in about 1 hour, and you get from 0 to 50% in around half an hour, which is a decent value but not better than on previous Meizu flagships. Regarding battery life, it's not the best battery life considering the battery size, but it's usable. I get around 6 to 7 hours of screen on time, which is perfectly fine for 1 day of use, but on intensive use of course, but probably not more. But we will see, maybe battery life gets better with time, as it was the case on some previous phones I tested. We will see about that. So stay tuned for the final review for more information on that. So bottom line for now, the Meizu Pro 7 Plus is a real flagship. It's a pretty good phone with its qualities being the audio quality. It has an integrated DAC and amplifier and has a great headphone output, great internal speaker. This rear information display is a nice gimmick, actually really useful when you take quality selfies with the main camera. Build quality is top notch, as you would expect in this price range. Screen is great, performance is great, and well, the main camera also performs really good. But so far the bokeh mode sucks a bit, and hopefully they will fix this in the future. So that's it for the first impressions. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the full review coming soon. Bye bye.